The unsurpassed, penetrating, and perfect truth is seldom met with, even in 100,000 myriad kalpas. Now we can see and hear it. We can remember and accept it. I vow to make the Buddha's truth one with myself. Homage to the Buddha, homage to the Dharma, homage to the Sangha. Now, today we come to the heart of karma, the cleansing of karma, its heartbeat, its knowledge and non-knowing, its work on us, our work upon it, the cleansing of karma. Reverend Master Jiyu told us of an abbot in Japan who put a washing machine in the zendo, so their monks would get the direct idea of what the purpose of their meditation really was. Now, apparently the governing side of the Soto Zen organization gave this abbot a lot of flack for doing this. Wasn't dignified to put a washing machine in the meditation hall. Well, they all had their points, and it made the point. When you sit down to meditate, you become like a washing machine, cleaning all the dirty laundry. That's a big part of what we're up to, whether we see it or not. By washing, we have the opportunity to see it, looking at our minds. Here we come again. If you want to know your past lives, look at your mind in the present. If you want to know your future lives, look at your mind in the present. Being still, coming back to our breath when we get distracted, over and over. How does that clean things? Well, like the washing machine, there's a lot of suds in our mind. We slosh around and that loosens the dirt. Of course, there's the spin cycle. We all know that one. And actually, we were talking about the spin cycle yesterday in the discussion, about how sometimes we find ourselves awake in the middle of the night and our mind is spinning. We all know it. And there's the rinse cycle, which can be seen as the water of the spirit. Just like the washing machine, things get cleansed. Our laundry, our dirty laundry, gets washed, spun, and rinsed, and spun again, and comes out clean. The washing machine doesn't fix things, it just washes. That's a really important thing to note. You don't have to fix it. Often, the washing goes on without us understanding completely what's going on. And that is the analogy of having the washing machine in the zendo. Sometimes we see it going on, and often we're just doing the practice of meditation and continually making the effort to come back, to be and to be still. Now, as we mentioned yesterday, but I'm going to mention it again, Reverend Master Koten, at the end of his Dharma talk on the 3 refuges, spoke about karma. He listed 4 things: to see, to be still, to investigate, and to not believe. And yes, I'm going to bring that up again in some of our other talks. My own list had been shorter, which was to see, to be still, to investigate. His 4th one of not to believe is so very helpful. So I'm going to go through them a little bit in this talk because they're very much involved in the cleansing of karma. To see. And this is what the Buddha meant by part of what the meaning of the phrase, if you want to know your past lives, look at your mind in the present. We have to see what's going on right now? And actually, it's not quite as we expect it to be, but that's our karmic history. And we can learn from that. We can learn to see it, to observe. It's one of the most powerful tools of meditation. We think we have to fix it. Not so. Just see it. We think we know, certain that our views are right. Not so. Just see. For me personally, just seeing has radically changed my life, my meditation, my actions. Seeing without judgment, again, don't judge, just see, gives us the freedom to give space to things, watching what arises and saying to ourselves, isn't that interesting? Period. No more comment needed. Isn't that interesting? I find that's a very friendly way to talk to myself. Oh, look at what's arising. Isn't that interesting? I don't have to judge it. I don't have to go in a dialogue of what I had done wrong or what's the matter with me or what's the matter with the other person or anything. It's just, oh, isn't that interesting? It's totally neutral. Reverend Master Jiyu used to say that when we look at something, our suffering, for example, long enough, we begin to get bored or tired of it. And after a while, we start letting it go. Well, that is a very profound truth. We get tired of the same old pattern and long to put it down. Nothing to fix, nothing to change, nothing to remodel. Just let it go. You know, I thought about seeing, and in some ways seeing means being willing to look, being willing to see. There's a willingness. That is what we bring to that situation. It doesn't mean that we direct or insist that things go a certain way. We're just willing to see things as they are, as they arise, and let them go. We bring our willingness to see, to be with what's going on. That is the important thing. So the second point of Reverend Master Koten's was to sit still. And I think we all know this, sitting still, there is a lot of strength, of power, of wisdom just in sitting still. Again, Reverend Master Jiyu taught us to sit in the third position, the place beyond the opposites, unmovable, the center of the spinning top. Achalanatha, the immovable one, the place of peace. We give ourselves and whatever is arising our stillness. We witness what is going on. Sometimes that is all that is needed. If you think I'm talking about fixing too much, look at around us. We are a nation of fixers. It's in our DNA, and actually we're beginning to start fixing our DNA so that we get babies the way we want them. I mean, really, there is nothing to fix. There is just everything to see. The third is to investigate. Sometimes there is something arising that needs our attention. What is it? What does it need? It's okay not to know. And it's okay to say, how may I help? I'm willing to see you. And then let it go. Be still with that. Investigation doesn't mean we direct what's happening. It means we allow it to cook. We don't meddle, but we're very aware. We're bringing our heart and our stillness and our eyes to the situation. I once asked what was the teaching of something I experienced. 10 years later, I got the answer. And it was an incredibly profound answer. It takes time. I probably wasn't ready for the answer. I wouldn't have got it. So trust. There's a big part of trusting. If we see something, great. If something never arises, so what? It doesn't matter. What we need will flow, and to trust that. Another aspect of investigating is the teaching from the Buddha. Feeling is the reaper of karma. Feeling. Feeling is the reaper of karma. So, bring our awareness to what we are feeling. In the body, in the mind, bring our awareness and stillness to it. We may feel something and yet not know what it means. We bear it. That's okay. Feeling is the reaper of karma. Oh, okay, I'll bear it. If we need to know, it'll come to us. We certainly can be willing to investigate. We bring our willingness to the cleansing process. And don't forget to bring your kindness and your loving heart to it. Don't insist that it go a certain way. Trust the process. We really don't need to know or see anything. If we do, we do. I tend to see things. Some of us see things more than others. I think I see things because I'm dense and I don't get it otherwise. So who knows? Just trust that how it's unfolding for you is as it should be. Relative to the saying of feeling is the reaper of karma, if we don't feel well, if we're hurting, we could see it positively, that we are cleansing karma. And we also have to be aware that sometimes we need to take some acetaminophen. Okay? It's like, okay, yes, I see this. The Buddha taught, as I mentioned before, that illness is not caused by karma. Many things are not caused by karma. Because you're sick or because you have a disease, it doesn't mean you've done something bad. And believe me, that's a common belief. People feel that they're sick because they've been bad. There are physical components which cause illness. But because karma is synergistic, it will piggyback upon the illness. And some of our habitual habits will contribute to that illness. I can say that in terms of myself. My heart disease was caused by a virus, but my habitual ways of relating to my body contributed to my inability to help my body heal. Seeing that enabled me to become more kinder and gentler and let go of my habitual way of trying to do things. It helped. So the fourth on Reverend Master Koten's list is to not believe. And I find that so helpful to understanding karma. We tend to solidify karma. All actions become solid as soon as we record them to memory. We believe them, we repeat them, we change them to reflect our side of things. That's the way the mind works. And actually, things are not this way. We solidify ourselves, all things around us, and yet investigating produces space and energy, and a shimmering energy at that. As I said earlier, language is linear. We think of action as past, present, and future, yet time is not like that. There is a flow to all things, and obviously, when we solidify things like water to ice, they do not flow. So let us melt. Very simple. Oh, okay. We can let it melt. We cannot believe it completely. That not believing points to picking up a lens of emptiness and not separateness. And this is a very big part of the Buddha's teaching, no separate self. His teaching of rebirth rather than reincarnation with a permanent ongoing soul. He did not see that. He saw rebirth, but he did not see this soul that transmigrated from life after life, this solid thing. His teachings of impermanence point to the fluidity and flow of life. And so to encourage this view, to trust in this view, we practice not believing. We consider it. We just remind ourselves, oh yeah, I'm solidifying things. Just see it and let it go. Even though I'm solid, I'm not. I dissolve upon death. If you've ever been around a corpse, you know it is not solid. You know it is not the person you knew. And truthfully, there's more going on than what we think and what we see. We will discuss this more in later talks, and it's helpful to keep this step in the cleansing of karma, not to believe. It's not quite as we think it is. Now, I'd like you to consider something, which you probably already know, but I think to cleanse karma by meditating is to have courage. I remember someone, a lay person a long time ago, and we were talking about meditating, and he said, "Oh, I'm so afraid." And I said, "Oh yeah, but you're sitting. You have courage to sit. Every time we sit still. We don't know what will arise. We don't know what needs our love and kindness. We are still for the sake of our things and for all beings, which is the manifestation of our bodhisattva vows. Not only are we courageous when we meditate, but we are compassionate, because we can't do this without kindness and compassion. So give yourself support here. It matters. Most of the time we're not even aware of it, yet we are cleansing karma. Dogen said in, I believe it was Bendoa, that even if all the Buddhas got together and they used all their Buddha wisdom and they tried to grasp or understand one person's meditation, they could not do it. That's how big our meditation is. So lighten the grip, let go. We're doing the best we can, and hold it that way. So in light of that, in light of seeing also, I have noticed both in present life memories and also past life memories, how we often see ourselves as the victim. We see others doing things to us, or they're not doing what we want, or we're hurt by what they're doing. Yet if you see this clearly, if you're willing, you begin to sense that maybe you had a part in the process. And what is my part in something? That's a really helpful question to ask if you're in a tense or conflicting situation, to say to yourself, oh, what am I doing to contribute to this situation? that immediately begins to give you some space. We are reluctant to see ourselves bearing a part or even most of the responsibility. And I find it's very, very helpful to see our victim slant, to view our victim slant. It's actually ignorance. So challenge it. That's a huge part of how we cleanse karma. It's part, I think, of what the Buddha meant when he said, we are the owners of our karma. He didn't say we are the victims of our karma. He said we're the owners. So we have a part in why this is going on. It's like that situation I quoted before in Dreaming Me, where the Lama said, if you recognize it, it means you've done it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have recognized it. So even people who are doing evil actions often feel victimized by the conditions of their life, which they feel force them to make the choices they do. So we're not separate from this. We're not separate from the suffering of others. We are both victim and perpetrator, and actually there is no victim or perpetrator, but that's okay. We're challenging the views we get. When we hold ourselves and others in a more inclusive view, we allow compassion into the process. And this is why seeing has such power. You begin to notice your patterns. So be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I'm going to give a personal experience I had in the cleansing of karma, which related to, as many of you know, I was raised in a very alcoholic, chaotic, lot of anger and love family, and it had a powerful effect on my core. I was always in flight or fright. And as I started meditating, I began to realize that I was holding this tension. And I didn't know what to do about it. I even went to my master in spiritual counseling and suggested, well, maybe I'm hardwired and this can't change. And she said, no, you're not hardwired, just keep working with it. So I did. And I found it helpful just to notice that I was tense. It doesn't help, at least it didn't help me to say, relax. That made me more tense. So I would say, oh, look, you're tense. Oh, I'd be kind to it. I'd turn towards it. I'd say, oh, your shoulders are tight. They still are often, but that's okay. I was with it. I changed the way I breathed. I saw that I wasn't breathing in a way that enabled me to slow down a little bit. So I just started being aware of my breath. It's okay to work on something, to bring our effort to it. That's cleansing karma. Not fixing it or getting rid of it. It's just being with it. I think it's really important, and this, I think, is part of what that phrase I keep saying the Buddha said, is that we're actually cleaning lifetimes of karma in this present moment. And that's big. Lifetimes of karma, so many vast seeds of karma that arise through and with us. So bring patience to this problem. The Buddha taught that patient endurance is the highest virtue. Believe me, we're all still practicing it. In cleansing karma, we turn towards it, we sit with it, we love it if we can, and this is the most important part, which I'm still working on, we don't hold on to it. Release it. Let it go home. Open your hands and allow it to leave. You are letting it find its way home. Now, I'm sure you notice this. I say with a lot because I think with is one of the most important words in human language, and we don't understand it. The Buddha said at his enlightenment, apparently, I wasn't there that I know of, maybe I was a little bug on a tree and heard him, but I don't remember that. So with, the Buddha said, I am, will be, was, enlightened with everything, with the universe. With. It's a verb. With. An inclusive, heartfelt way of training. We're always cleansing with karma, for therein we experience the compassion and love and wisdom that flow through it. We are with it. Don't miss that. Sit still with fear. Don't let it push you around. Just be still with it and let it go when it's ready to go. I think we have no idea how powerful we really are. Not in the sense of being powerful over another, but rather in the sense of a chalanatha, of being immovable. This is our potency, there is our strength and our love, and this is what we meditate with. Now, I mentioned in the first talk, people think of karma as punishment and judgment. So it's up to us to transform, but actually really just experience the compassion and love and wisdom that is in it. And it frees us so that we don't have to be bound and weighed down. We don't orchestrate this transformation. It actually comes from our effort to turn towards it, from our effort to be with it. It is both that we own it, and so take it up and wash it, and it's not to believe because it has an empty side to it too. So it's both of these aspects. So much of cleansing karma is turning towards what we have done, what we fear, what we are adverse to. Turning towards it and being with it. We'll be exploring rebirth next, I believe. That's the next talk. And we'll see how this concept of rebirth actually relates very closely to the cleansing of karma, the heart of karma. Thank you very much. Homage to all the Buddhas in all worlds. Homage to all the Bodhisattvas in all worlds. Homage to the scripture of great wisdom.